The Last of Us, Cordyceps fungal brain infection. You're doom-scrolling climate news when your scientist friend texts something terrifying. That ant zombie fungus from nature documentaries just learned to survive 15 degrees warmer. Congratulations, we're officially one bad summer away from Joel and Ellie becoming your actual neighbors. Cordyceps isn't fiction. It's been running Earth's most successful mind control business for millions of years. But here's the kicker. It's already jumping species faster than COVID variants. White nose syndrome wiped out entire bat colonies, and researchers found cordyceps adapting to mammals in real time. Climate change is literally heating up the welcome mat for fungi that want to redecorate your brain. In reality, fungal spores travel across continents on wind currents. Remember when Sahara dust reached Europe? Same delivery system, except instead of pretty sunsets, you get mind-controlled neighbors trying to bite your face off. Your morning jog becomes Russian roulette with airborne brain parasites floating in the breeze. The scariest part? Cordyceps rewires ant brains in days, not months. A human version would have you posting increasingly weird social media updates before you even realize you're infected. By the time authorities notice the pattern, half your city is already spreading spores at Starbucks while ordering their usual lattes. Fallout, nuclear winter radiation zones. The Fallout timeline shows nuclear war starting in 2077, but we're speedrunning that achievement like it's a competitive speedrun. 9 countries have nuclear weapons. World leaders conduct diplomacy through angry tweets at 3 a.m., and military accidents happen monthly. The Cuban Missile Crisis lasted 13 tense days. Today's version happens between breakfast and your first coffee break. Fallout's radiation zones aren't creative game design, they're basically Chernobyl tourism brochures. 37 years later, the exclusion zone is still a complete no-go area where your phone would literally become radioactive. The game's 200-year underground timeline matches real cesium 137 decay rates, meaning your great-great-grandchildren would still be playing the world's longest game of underground hide-and-seek with radiation poisoning. Here's the fun part. Modern nuclear weapons make Hiroshima look like a firecracker at a 4th of July barbecue. One submarine carries enough firepower to end civilization, and we've got dozens of them scattered across oceans like the world's deadliest Easter eggs. A single technical malfunction could turn your Netflix password into humanity's last preserved cultural artifact. Nuclear winter isn't movie drama, it's peer-reviewed science. Even a limited exchange between India and Pakistan would drop global temperatures enough to cause worldwide famine. 2 countries having their worst day ever could accidentally cancel agriculture for the next decade. Dead space. Mining colony, Necromorph outbreak. You're working the night shift at a mining colony when the archaeology team discovers something impossible. Alien structures millions of years old buried deep in the rock. This should be exciting Nobel Prize material for your LinkedIn profile. Instead, it becomes Exhibit A in humanity's case study titled, Why Humans Can't Leave Things Alone. Dead Space's horror comes from humanity's absolutely perfect track record of poking dangerous things we definitely shouldn't poke. We've already found organisms in Earth's deepest mines that survived millions of years without sunlight, basically making cockroaches look like amateur quitters. Now we want to take that exact same energy to Mars, where we'll definitely find something that wants to kill us in new and creative ways. NASA's current Mars mission plans include extensive drilling and sample collection operations. Their contamination protocols optimistically assume alien microbes will be polite enough to follow Earth safety regulations. A single infected crew member in a sealed habitat becomes an extinction event with absolutely zero customer service options for complaints. The Necromorph outbreak pattern mirrors every pandemic playbook. Patient 0 gets infected, symptoms get dismissed as stress, exponential spread in confined spaces, and by the time anyone calls for help, the entire facility is a horror movie set. Except this time, the monsters are your coworkers who still remember how to use power tools. Resident Evil, corporate bioweapon accidents. Raccoon City wasn't destroyed by zombies, it was destroyed by quarterly earnings reports. Umbrella Corporation decided pharmaceutical research meant weaponized plague development. Replace Umbrella with any biotech company prioritizing stock prices over not ending humanity, and you've got tomorrow's news. The Resident Evil scenario is happening. The 2014 CDC anthrax exposure, forgotten smallpox samples, and 2019 USAMRIID shutdown prove maximum security labs have college fraternity organizational skills. Corporate labs cut safety corners to save money. The same people giving you expired office yogurt contain viruses that could end civilization. The T-virus outbreak started because proper containment was too expensive. Sound familiar? Left 4 dead. Rabies mutation pandemic spread. The green flu spreads faster than Twitter drama and kills more efficiently than healthcare costs. It's rabies that went to business school and learned viral marketing. Real rabies makes mammals violently aggressive, with 100% fatality rates, so it's one evolution from joining the zombie job market. Your morning commute becomes survival horror, where zombies are former coworkers who can't figure out the coffee machine, except now they want to eat your brain instead of asking about weekend plans. Call of Duty Zombies, Element 115 experiments. Element 115 doesn't officially exist, which is exactly what any government would say about Element 115. Military research has a tradition of funding experiments with unknown substances that definitely won't backfire. The Manhattan Project, MK Ultra, and Agent Orange started as classified programs with zero chance of civilian casualties. Military facilities match Call of Duty zombie maps, isolated bases, experimental weapons, and soldiers dealing with classified projects they're not paid enough to handle. Area 51 and USAMRID represent real locations where secret experiments could go wrong. Dying Light, UV-sensitive viral evolution. Most pathogens hate UV radiation more than vampires hate garlic, so a virus making hosts avoid sunlight would have serious survival advantages. Tuberculosis spreads more easily in dark spaces, making your basement the perfect pandemic starter kit. A UV-sensitive virus would create horror movie scenarios. Infected people seem normal during day but transform into parkour nightmares at sunset. Your neighbors spend daylight hours looking tired, then become wall-climbing murder machines who never skip leg day. State of Decay, small-town zombie containment. State of Decay asks what happens when apocalypse hits rural America, where everyone owns enough weapons to outfit a small army and knows their neighbors' names. Small communities survive disasters better than cities, mainly because they've been preparing for end times since the 1970s. Hurricane Katrina and COVID supply shortages proved rural communities maintain better disaster preparedness. Small towns have generators, canned food, hunting skills, and neighbors who coordinate during emergencies instead of fighting over toilet paper like civilized city folk. Dead Rising, shopping mall siege survival. Dead Rising puts you in every retail worker's fantasy. A shopping mall where customers can't complain because they're technically dead. Shopping malls are accidentally perfect disaster shelters with food courts, pharmacies, and sporting goods stores. The 2011 Joplin tornado survivors took shelter in big box stores for exactly the same reasons, proving consumer capitalism occasionally serves purposes beyond destroying your bank account. Frank West's photojournalism reflects how social media documentation during disasters takes priority over survival. People live-streamed January 6th and Hurricane Ian, proving humans prioritize content creation over continued existence. These video game apocalypses work because they're built on real science, actual government failures, and human behaviors we recognize from recent disasters. The question isn't whether these scenarios could happen, it's whether we're paying attention to the warning signs or just scrolling past them for the next meme.